Not a bad move. Too bad I saw it coming. You're 65 million years too late, friend. I already have this game in the bag. You're bluffing. You don't have Settle the Wreckage. But wait, she does have 2 open white mana. If she does have Settle the Wreckage, this game is over. I'll never recover from it. Maybe if I pass a turn, I could draw a counterspell, and then guarantee my victory next turn. Alright, I've seen through your plans. I'll pass the turn. Damn it! What's up, Planeswalkers? How you doing? Welcome back to the Moot channel, the last place on YouTube to pick up the ultimate deck list. Today, I have quite the deck for you guys, and I hope you're hungry because this commander sure is. It's Indominus Rex Alpha, the keyword soup commander that's going to be released with Caverns of Ixalan. So this Super Predator is a 5-mana Simic colored 6/6 dinosaur mutant that has the wording of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. That said, to summarize its ability, when this card enters the battlefield, we can discard creature cards from our hand, and the Indominus Rex inherits certain keywords in the form of counters from these creatures discarded this way. Which keywords, you ask? Well, that would be Flying, First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Hexproof, Haste, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. Then, the Indominus Rex draws cards equal to the number of counters on it. Yes, that's counters, including +1 counters. Now, naturally, every creature in the deck is going to come with keywords, and then the rest of our deck is either going to reanimate stuff from our graveyard, or it's going to put cards from our graveyard back into our hands so we can discard them again if we need to play our commander again. Before we get started, if you have a commander you want to see in a video like this one, leave it in the comments or join our channel Discord. Starting our creatures off, we have Banehound, as it comes with 2 good keywords, which means 2 cards when we discard it with our commander. Also, a side note, please never play this card out. A 1/1 haste lifelinker is not worth it. Leave it in your hand for your commander. That should go without saying for some of these cards, and you guys will see what I mean. Birds of Paradise is a mana dork. In late game, it can get flying if we draw it, and then we can discard it. Baleful Strix is an early game blocker that also draws us a card, and then late game, it counts as 2 keywords, so again, it's 2 cards. Beastcaller Savant is another mana dork, but it can also give haste to our commander. Gurmag's Swiftwing comes with 3 good keywords. That also means 3 more cards. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to stop mentioning the cards because you should just remember at this point, if there's a keyword on it, it's a potential card. So if I say something has 3 keywords, it means it can draw 3 cards. Null Priest of Oblivion is really good in this deck because we can discard it for the keywords, or naturally we can just play it and then return one of the things we discarded. Sylvan Kyriadid, yet another mana dork with good keywords. Now some of you may be asking, Moot, that card has Defender, I don't want my commander to have that keyword. Well, my dear viewer, remember, our commander only inherits certain keywords. Defender is not one of them, so we don't actually have to worry about that. Wilson, Refined Grizzly, is more fodder for our commander. Eternal Witness, but don't be deceived, it does have a keyword. It's Staple. Yes, that's right. We are playing 1 creature in this deck. I know I said we played none, but we actually are playing 1 without a keyword. Eternal Witness, it's just too good. Glissa Sunslayer is good to discard, and it's good to just play out, since it can blow up enchantments or draws cards. Kefet the Mindful gives flying and indestructible. Leyline Prowler, you guessed it, it's another mana dork with good keywords. Ronus the Indomitable, which is totally fine to play out since this card can actually give trample to more than 1 creature if we have 3 mana. Vampire Nighthawk, again, it's just a body with good keywords. Venomthrope, which, boy are these keywords good. We're talking about flying, death touch, and hexproof. Naturally, that's very good things to be putting on a commander. Weathered Sentinels is good for keywords, and please do not play this card out like Banehound. There are certain cards in here that they can be played, but they also have good keywords. This is one of the ones they can't be. Just do not play this card out. Save it in your hand for your commander. Weeping Angel, which has a rude ability to make your opponent's creatures disappear. Marry the Curse, which has good, that's right, keywords. Nightveil Predator, which has even more. Yep, again, more keywords. Questing Beast, which honestly you should play this creature out since it's good at stopping the ring and it dunks on planeswalkers. Toski, Bear of Seeker, lets us draw cards when we hit our opponent. Also, you could just give your commander indestructible. Vengeful Reaper, which honestly sometimes you just foretell this card and leave open blue to play mind games with your opponent. Archfiend of Ifnir, which is a big problem in this deck, right? Because our commander is a discard trigger, we could discard our hand potentially to our commander, and that is what, 5 cards, so that's 5 -1 counters going across the board, killing everything. Elder Gargaroth is a beast of a card, and it is totally fine to play this card out. Carnage Tyrant for the keyword. Worm Coil Engine is a good blocker, and plus the keywords are good again. And Razor Forerunners to discard, as most of the time we won't have that many creatures, so this is another one of those cards that's pretty ideal to just discard. Galta Stampede Tyrant is perfect when we are playing 30 creatures and plan to have a handful of them. Stonehoof Chieftain for, and let me hear you say it, keywords. Now for the spells, we are playing Reanimate since we plan to fill our graveyard with creatures, Assassin's Trophy to destroy a permanent, Counterspell to defend our commander, and also feel free to add Saw Coming if you really want to add to that mind game feel. Farseek to find a land, Feed the Swarm is more removal, and Mana Drain is an extra counterspell just in case. Nature's Lore to find more lands, Persist to return another creature from our graveyard, and plus if we return our commander this way, technically it has a -1 counter on it. So hey, there you go. Rampant Growth is our last ramp spell. Shadow of the Grave is really good in this deck, as if we have 2 open mana, we play our commander, let's say we discard 3 creatures, we're already drawing 3 cards, but if we have that 2 mana, we play Shadow of the Grave, well, we return everything we discarded, so it's actually like drawing 6 cards. It's pretty sweet. Tear Asunder is really powerful removal. Balaged Recovery is a land, or can bring something back from our graveyard. Toxic Deluge is a great board wipe as we can size it to our needs. Living Death is perfect. Let me kind of set a scene for you. You play your commander, you discard, let's say 6 creatures. It's heavily warded up, and then someone has to sacrifice our commander. Well, here's the thing. We can let our commander go straight to the graveyard, and then on our following turn, play Living Death, get back everything we discarded with our commander, and the commander back to the battlefield. And keep in mind, remember, if we discarded cards and it entered with those counters, we should have a full hand at this point. So then we can discard even more cards, give it even more keywords. So kind of a cool little thing you can do with Living Death. Last, we have March of the Ants, since we're playing a lot of creatures, and they are big creatures, so of course we want to play them for free. It's always sweet. To round things out, we have our enchantments and artifacts, and you guessed it, I'm going to start with the ramp. First, we have Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Dimir Signet, then Golgari Signet, Simic Signet, and Chromatic Lantern. For our counter synergies, we have the Luxor, which grows its user for the number of counters on it. Obviously, this is a no-brainer with our commander. The Ozolith to share the keyword soup with all our creatures if our commander gets removed. Agatha's Soul Cauldron, a very powerful card. It is pretty tame in this deck, as we don't have that many activated abilities, but you never know what your opponents are playing. Phyrexian Reclamation to return discarded creatures to our hand. Animate Dead will instead return a creature to the battlefield. Swiftfoot Boots is protection. Up the Beanstalk is card draw when at ETBs, and then also we're playing so many expensive cards that it's just more card draw. Mighty Emergence is here so that we can stack our ETB triggers with our commander and get an extra 2 cards, and then naturally if we just play any big card, it also just buffs them up. Binding of the Old God is removal, and if we have Miracle Christmas Land, we will have Glissa so that we can reset it. Guardian Project will draw us cards based on the creatures we play. The Great Henge is card advantage, and it grows our creatures, and with our commander, again, it's going to be an extra 2 cards as long as we stack the triggers appropriately. And for the last card, we have Virtue of Persistence, a removal spell attached to an enchantment that brings creatures back from the graveyard. For the mana base, you can always fit it to your budget, but feel free to copy the one found in the deck list in the description of this video. My number 1 pick land for this is Nesting Grounds. It lets us move around our counters. As far as the combos go in the deck, there are no combos. But honestly, it's not that hard to change around a few cards. Comedy of the Whispered Hope and Staff of Domination are an easy include, but I didn't include them because I kind of wanted to fit with a theme in this deck. I also want to use this spot to mention Taju Preserver. If the meta where you play has a lot of sacrifice decks, then you might want to pick this card up. It's relatively cheap and it prevents your commander from being sacrificed. That's going to do it for today's video, and I do hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how I did, or leave your favorite flavor of ice cream in the comments below. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.